week 9er in college football, baby. The Big 12 has a whole slew of games, which is 2 games last week. Everybody is back in play this week in the Big 12. And as my radio friend and TV personality TV's Jerry says, the Big 12 at least will have you from the root to the toot, from the start to the finish, even on a Thursday night. Full slate on Saturday. We'll go over all those games, plus all the other games that involve the tube, the TV. Next, only right here, Boomer Sooner 1982. Don't go away! Welcome back to the show, everybody. My name's Harry James. Let's break down week 9 in college football. And we'll start in the Big 12. Because on Thursday, because we always do, right? Thursday night, actually, in the Big 12, you'll see Baylor in Morgantown at West Virginia. That game will be on Fox Sports 1. I'm taking the Dana's boys and the Mountaineers of West Virginia from that one. Saturday, from the root to the toot, the Big 12 has action. Morning, noon, and night. The morning game, 11 a.m., as Texas Tech will be in Ames at Iowa State. That game will be on the ESPN2. I'm actually taking the Cyclones in this ball game. They've pulled a couple of upsets the last few weeks. Don't be surprised if they do it again. 2 o'clock, Fox Sports 1, Texas Christian will be at Kansas at 2 o'clock. I'm taking the Horned Frogs, TCU. They'll get back on track. It is Kansas, by the way. 2:30, that's my Sooners. Kansas State at Oklahoma on Fox National. I don't pick this game because I don't want to sound like a homer. But if you want my thoughts on this game, you can always listen to me as I help the Sooner fans podcasts. That thing should be out about Thursday. We tape it Wednesday night. One other game locally in the Big 12 Conference, 7 o'clock, the national game that week on ABC, Texas at Oklahoma State. Who wins in the battle for the teams that wants Oklahoma to throw up the most? Who wins it? I think it's going to be Texas. I just haven't seen a lot from Oklahoma State that tells me they can get back on track. Nationally, Tuesday night is when everything starts off nationally. Troy will be at South Alabama. That game will be on the ESPN2. I'm taking Troy. We'll take Wednesday night off for all the church people. We'll get back on track on Thursday night. As Ball State will be at Ohio. That game will be on CBS Sports Network. I'm taking Ohio. ESPN2 will also have a game at 6 o'clock on Thursday. Toledo will be at Western Michigan. I'm taking Western Michigan. The 6:30 games on Thursday, there's 3 of these. They include Georgia Tech at Virginia Tech. ESPN, I'm taking Virginia Tech. And Appalachian State at Georgia Southern on ESPNU. I'm taking Georgia Southern. Flip the calendar again to Friday. Well, you will have a couple of games. The mid-major game on CBS Sports Network will be Louisiana Tech at Florida Atlantic. I'm taking Louisiana Tech. The game now for the games that everybody wants to see. 6 o'clock. Miami of Florida will be at Boston College. That game will be on ESPN. I'm taking BC. And Indiana will be at Minnesota on ESPN on Fox Sports 1. I'm taking Minnesota. The non-Power 5 game at 9 o'clock. Wyoming at Colorado State on CBS Sports Network. I'm taking the Rams of Colorado State. And the Power 5 teams at 9:30 will be Utah at UCLA. ESPN, I'm taking Utah. That's what you're going to have to look through on the weekdays. Now what happens on the weekends? At the end of the week, of course, for breakfast at 11 a.m., you'll see a chunk load of ball games. Clemson at Florida State on ABC. I'm going to take Florida State. I'm going to actually take Clemson in this ball game. I think Florida State's really starting to turn it on, but they're playing Clemson. Really? No. Minnesota, Wisconsin, the Badgers back on track, but they will be at Northwestern on Fox. I'm taking Northwestern. Michigan State will try to get back on track after losing to rival Michigan, as they will host Purdue, the Boilermakers. Congratulations, Purdue, by the way. Purdue at Michigan State on ESPN. I'm taking Sparty. Central Michigan at Akron on ESPN3. I'm taking Akron. ESPNU, theirs is University of Massachusetts at the University of Connecticut. ESPNU, I'm taking UConn. ESPN3 will have Wake Forest at Louisville. I'm taking Louisville. CBS Sports Network's going to have a good one. What about this one? Army at Eastern Michigan. I'm taking Army. SEC Network. Arkansas. They will host Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt at Arkansas. I think Arkansas is going to stay on the right track in this one on SEC Network. I'm taking Arkansas. Finally on the Big Ten Network. But the Bethune-Cookman will be at Nebraska. On the Big Ten Network, I'm taking the Big Red. Speaking of Nebraska, congratulations to Coach Frost on his first major win at his alma mater of Nebraska. That's it for the 11 a.m. regular 11 a.m. kicks. There is one more morning kick. It's at 11:20 Central Time. North Carolina will be at Virginia on the ESPN3. I'm actually going to take the Cavs and Virginia. Take a little break. 1 o'clock is when everything gets started up again. ESPN Plus will have Coastal Carolina at Georgia State. I'm taking Georgia State there in this one at 1 o'clock. Also at 1 o'clock, Southern Miss will be at Charlotte, ESPN3. I'm taking Charlotte. 2 o'clock, Oregon State will be at Colorado on the Pac-12 network. I'm taking the Buffs, the Buffaloes. The 2:30 game, game day game, is first up, at least in this match, at 2:30 on CBS. Florida and Georgia. I'm taking Georgia, but don't be surprised if Florida kind of takes some good momentum. I really like Gus Malzahn. I just think that Georgia, I just think they're going to want this a little bit more. Look for them to get this. ESPN2 will have a good one also, interleague, because Iowa will be at Penn State. I'm taking Penn State. ESPN3 will have an ACC interleague squad match. Duke at Pittsburgh. I'm taking the Pittsburgh. The ESPN2, the ABC ESPN2 mirror games are right here. They're next on my list. Arizona State at Southern Cal. I'm taking Southern Cal. Also, South Florida will be at Houston. Both games will either be on ESPN2 or ABC, respectively. The Big Ten Network, Illinois, will be at Maryland. I'm going to take Maryland in the Big Ten Network game. ESPNU will have Northern Illinois at Brigham Young. ESPNU, I'm taking BYU. ESPN Plus also has a game on there, as Middle Tennessee will be at Old Dominion. I'm taking Middle Tennessee. And finally, 2:30 in the 2:30 docket, the meat of the day docket, Cincinnati will be at Southern Methodist on a CBS Sports Network. I'm taking Cincy. You want some mayonnaise on your sandwich to go with your meats? Well, you got some mayonnaise here. 3 o'clock, Kentucky at Missouri on the SEC Network. I'm taking Kentucky. Rice at North Texas and Seth Luttrell. ESPN Plus. They've had some trouble these last 2 weeks. I think that they cleaned it up against the Rice Owls. I'm taking North Texas. And the Stadium Network will have New Mexico at Utah State on the Stadium Network. I'm taking Utah State. The 3:30 Fox Sports 1 will have a Pac-12 matchup between Washington. They will be at Cal Berkeley. I'm taking Washington. Fox Sports 1. The 2:30 game will be on the AT&T Sports Network Rocky Mountain, as UNLV will be at San Jose State. Taking San Jose. Primetime 6 o'clock match. So you got some bread, you got some meat, now you need the bread on top. That includes the nightcap, which includes NC State at Syracuse. ESPN2, I'm taking Syracuse. Washington State at Stanford on the Pac-12 network. Good win, by the way, for the Leacher and Mike Leach and Washington State, but on the road at Stanford. Probably going to be a little tougher, so I'm going to take Stanford. Texas A&M will be at Mississippi State on ESPN. I'm taking Mississippi State in this one. They lost a hard one to swallow against LSU. Now they're going to have their night game against A&M. I'm going to take Mississippi State. CBS Sports Network will have Boise State at the Air Force Academy. I'm taking the Broncos. Arkansas State at Louisiana Lafayette, ESPN The Plus. I'm taking ULL. Tulane at Tulsa, ESPNU. I'm taking Tulane. New Mexico State at Texas State, ESPN3. I'm taking Texas State. That's the 6:30 games. Tennessee at South Carolina, ESPN, the SEC Network. I'm going to take South Carolina. Alabama Birmingham at UTEP, ESPN Plus. Got to go with UAB, right? Birmingham. Good year for them, by the way. And the BN Sports Network game, Florida International at Western Kentucky. I'll take FIU. The primetime game, 7 o'clock. Notre Dame at Navy, CBS Sport, the CBS Network, National. I'm taking Notre Dame in that one. 9:30. Three more to preview here real quick. Oregon at Arizona on ESPN. I'm taking Oregon. Hawaii at Fresno State on ESPN The Deuce. I'm taking Fresno State. And ESPNU, that's the last one. They will have San Diego State at Nevada on ESPNU. I'm taking SDSU. All right, guys, don't take any of these picks to Vegas. But if you do and you want to share the winnings, I'll take it. All right? All right. My name's Harry James. You can catch this and all my other videos on the YouTube, Boomer Sooner 1982. They are also up on my Facebook account, Harry James Taylor, and on my Twitter, at HypeManHarry. All right, guys, thanks for watching and enjoy what would this be, 9? Week 9 of college football. See y'all for week 10. I'm out of here.